Hey guys, everybody, welcome back to the channel, and all of those of you who are new here for the first time. My name is Mike, and this is Mike's Philippine Retirement, Life Abroad After 60. And do I need to start over again? That's a great question. Hey everybody, I'm back in Dumaguete, and I'm up here in the mountains above Valencia, one of my favorite places to come and make a video. Today I want to talk about, do I start over? My lease is up in 2 months, but I have one of these agreements where 60 days out, I have to let them know if I'm going to redo my lease or I'm going to opt out. So today is the 16th. I have 14 days to decide if I'm going to, renew the lease or I'm going to opt out of it. But I'm looking at choices here. Being that I'm 71, my relationship is not like it used to be, so I need to think about starting over. I've been to Bohol. I really love Bohol. It's a beautiful place to live. I like Cebu City, and I also like Dumaguete. There's a lot of pros and cons, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the three of them. And with your help, maybe I can decide where do I want to live. Let's talk about Bohol a little bit. Very touristy, but full of women, beautiful places to go, beaches. If you like the water, it's a great place to go, especially Panglao. The upper part of the island is beautiful also. It's more rural, much more provincial, a lot of sights, mountains, and coastline to see. You have one big city of Tacloban. Tacloban gives you everything you need. There's a hospital in Tacloban. There's a mall there, Island City Mall. There's also many shops, many restaurants, places to go, and easy transportation on the ferry. It's part of a triangle of Dumaguete, Bohol, and Cebu City. You can get on a ferry there, and within 2 hours you can be in Dumaguete, in Sikicor, or you can be in Cebu City. So everything is pretty close. It's not really far from everything. I wouldn't be leaving a lot of friends or something, because I have a lot of friends that I made in Bohol and a lot of acquaintances up there. But Dumaguete, Dumaguete is my home for the last 4 years. It'd be hard to leave here, and it is hard to leave here. I'm really contemplating staying, but I want to explore my options. And Dumaguete, hospital-wise, it has some hospitals that are pretty good. Silliman, Ace Hospital, a couple others. But I found some bad things with the hospitals in their diagnostic ability. That's that heart issue I had, where the one doctor said, you're going to die soon if you don't get an operation. And when I went to Cebu City and had a second opinion, I was clean and green, ready to go. So for fixing broken arms, stubbed toe and infection, Dumaguete has everything you need. But if you get into those serious heart conditions, serious, the big C or anything else that comes with old age, it's not really the best place to be. And Bohol is the same thing, hospital-wise. You'll probably die on the ambulance or on the ride from wherever you're living to the main hospital. It's just such a long way to go with traffic once you get into the big city. And same thing with Dumaguete. You leave Valencia, in an ambulance. The closer you get to the hospital, the more the traffic is. You're looking at 25, 30 minutes by the time they get to your house, if they get to your house to pick you up and take you to the hospital. So those are a couple big negatives with both of them. Cebu City is the option for medical. Now, if I did have a severe heart problem, a condition that needed monitoring all the time, Cebu City would be without a question where I would stay. I would get myself a condo. I would not get a studio condo. That living's not for me. I did that for 6 months a couple years ago. It was fun, but I knew I was leaving, and I had the rental house here in Dumaguete. But full-time living in a 25 square meter studio condo, I don't care what all the amenities are. Great pool, great gym, great elevator, great staff, security. A studio's just too small. There's nowhere to stretch out. And you get those lazy days when you just want to hang back at home and you really don't want to get involved with the day-to-day activities. Maybe it's raining for a couple days or a typhoon is coming through. Not the place for me. I'd have to get a one-bedroom condo somewhere, minimum 35 square meters, but I'd be looking more in the 40 to 50 square meter range. And that, the cost goes way up. Those I'm going to be looking at 40,000 pesos a month, if not more. plus parking. You got to pay for a parking spot, and some of those are 4 to 5,000 pesos a month. So you could be looking just under 50,000 pesos to rent a nice place with parking, not counting your electricity and your internet that you have to pay for no matter where you live. So that doesn't really matter. But Cebu has a lot of pluses to it. There's El Corso, and there's IT Park and Ayala Mall, and you can go into Lapu-Lapu, and you can go to SMC side, and you can go to New Star if you feel like gambling a little bit. You can go into New Star, and lots of things to do, but everything is a taxi ride. You can't really walk too many places unless you're close to IT Park and Ayala Mall. Everywhere else, you're probably going to grab a Grab or a taxi to get there, and those are pretty cheap. You really don't need a motorbike or a car if you live in Cebu City. But like me, I like to go for a ride once in a while. I'd be catching myself on Sunday saying, hey, let's go somewhere, let's do something. Cebu is like my third option. And that is only if medical kicked in. And maybe in 5 years, that's somewhere where I'll have to be. Let's hope not. But you just don't know what life brings you in the future. Bohol, though. New adventure there, new places to live. I saw they have a lot of modern houses for rent in the same price range as Dumaguete. There's some that are like 25,000, some are 35,000, some are 50,000. Depends what you get. They also have some cheaper apartments if you want to live in a community living with an outdoor swimming pool and maintenance, little furnished places. They run you about 20,000, maybe 25,000 if it's bigger. Close to Alona Beach. And the thing with Alona Beach is things are expensive. It's a tourist destination. I don't want to call it a tourist trap, but it is a tourist spot. So the restaurants are more expensive. I went to Cajun restaurant across from the McDonald's, and that was an expensive meal. I'm paying like $12 for lunch there. And same thing with the coffee shops. It's just like Dumaguete. If you're down there by the boulevard at Bo's Coffee or San Raval, you're going to pay 150 pesos with tip for a cup of coffee. But Alona Beach has a lot to offer, a lot of places to walk. You can go to these sightseeing places and walk the beaches. Those are all free. You just have to park your bike somewhere and go for a walk and enjoy it. I had a meal on the beach in Alona Beach, and that wasn't too bad. I had pad thai noodles, and the couple I was with, they ordered fish, and it was about 1,200 pesos for the dinner, which was pretty cheap. But I only had water. They had one beer, and the lady had water. So it depends how much you order. Alcohol is expensive because it's what it is, but you have entertainment. You have people singing, you have bands playing as you walk along Alona Beach at night. It is very, very peaceful along the water's edge. But as you get closer, as you pass all the restaurants and the resorts, you can hear the music. It's lively. It's like a tourist place should be. So that would be very interesting. More if I wish I was younger for Alona Beach. I remember when I moved here to the Philippines, that's where I lived for the first 2 or 3 months. But that was right after COVID and right after Odette hit. So it wasn't a fair example at the time. There's no power here. Water was bad. A generator in the apartment I was renting for 2 hours every 2 days. It just wasn't conducive to having an enjoyable life. I didn't have a motorbike at the time, so everything was a very expensive trike ride, and that's the one negative to Alona Beach. Transportation, if you don't have your own bike, the trikes are very expensive. They're going to charge you 200, 300, 400, 500 pesos just to go, a few kilometers. So that's a big negative there. But it's a great idea to move there for something new and interesting and exciting. But I keep getting drawn back to Dumaguete. Dumaguete has everything I like. This view here, my God. I drove up this mountain at 1 o'clock. I had an appointment at Sarge's barbershop for a haircut. And now it's right during this video I'm making, it's 2:30. I got the haircut. I was able to drive out of Dumaguete up to Valencia, up the mountain here to this spot, all within an hour and a half. That's the one thing of beauty of Dumaguete is everything is pretty close, but not on top of each other. Once you get out of the crowded downtown area, Dumaguete opens up. The roads are 2 or 4 lanes, depending which roads you take. Traffic is, not backed up at all, other than downtown because of the one-way streets that they have. But once you get out of downtown Dumaguete, I'm going to say once you get past Hypermart coming up the hill going west, traffic really opens up, especially once you hit Diversion Road and you're going farther up into Valencia. The road really widens up, traffic lightens up, and it's really nice. A lot of restaurants here in Dumaguete, all different price range. You can get something that's, you're paying 20 bucks for a meal, or you can go someplace and pay $4 for the meal. It's your choice, and the variety is great. I love M&M, the Mexican restaurant I go to, Hideout, which is right down the street from where I live. Both those places are walking distance for good Western food at a good price. I'm only going to spend 300 or 400 pesos for that. And I can do takeout or I can eat in. Farther up, you have the Red Flower, which has a great breakfast. You have the Plaza Valencia on Sunday when you want to go to the market, maybe get some fresh bread. So many different things to do. The medical bothers me a little bit, but then again, the medical is good enough that you can survive and get things taken care of. And if you need something major, it's less than an hour airplane ride to Cebu City. So of all my options, I like the idea of Bohol, but I'm drawn to Dumaguete. My friends are here, my family's here, my acquaintances, people I know. I'm comfortable here. I know the roads. I think I talked myself into staying in Dumaguete, but Bohol is my number 2 option. And if you're first coming to the Philippines and you're single, try Bohol and Panglao. Dumaguete is more for somebody who's already in a relationship. It's hard to meet single women here. And if you do, chances are that woman has been with somebody you're going to meet in the future. So you have to be careful of that situation. If it bothers you, some people it don't bother. It don't bother that the girl you're dating had an affair with 2 of the guys you're having coffee with. So it's up to you on how you feel. But Dumaguete is more of a settle down after you have somebody and a retirement community. Panglao, Bohol, that is more for the excitement of when you first arrive into the Philippines and you want to feel that energy, that excitement of being single and wandering around and meeting people. Panglao works great. There's a lot of restaurants, a lot of bars. Things are open late, easy to meet people. And when you get into Cebu City, though, Cebu City's a little different. You're going to find a place where you're going to have to hang out. If it's Ayala Mall, which is where I used to hang out all the time, it's hard to meet girls who haven't been with one of the foreigners at the mall already, because they know how it works. They know what they want. They're looking for that foreigner to have an interaction with. So finding somebody new, fresh, and exciting, that's half the battle. And it's a challenge here in the Philippines. But where to live? Should I start over? If I really don't stay in Dumaguete, I'm starting over in Panglao. I will not move to Cebu City, but I will visit Cebu City. And I'll tell you the main reason. It's the casino. When I lived in Las Vegas, every other day I was in the casino playing a little, video poker, having whatever I did, and go home. Well, here, if I get bored, I'm going to go over to New Star, or I'll go to the waterfront casino, and just to kill some time or have a little bit of excitement. And you can get into that addictive habits. If you're getting old and you're lonely and you hang out at the casino too much, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So the casino aspect of it is great as a visit. Could be a negative if I live there. Addiction is a tough thing. I overcame that in my 30s and early 40s, and I'm really not looking forward to going back to that style of life. I like the life I have here in Dumaguete. It's a little lonely right now, but I really do enjoy the life I have here in Dumaguete. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted on the updates with the landlord. But the choices, to me, there's only 3 choices. Dumaguete, Bohol, the Panglao area, or Cebu City. And I think for the bang for the buck, you get more for your money here in Dumaguete than you do in Cebu City and Panglao. So that's my take on it, guys. Help me in the comments section. Let me know what you think I should do. Should I just stay here? You've all seen my house. I just made a video about it. Until next time.